some preliminary the introducing club member has to make some sort of preliminary decision as to if the person is suitable for your club. For instance, it doesn't make sense to introduce a non-English speaking person to a Chinese speaking club. Every club has its own personality, character, and idiosyncrasies, and therefore the person has to suit the personality and needs of that. The club has to suit the personality and needs of that particular Rotarian. Now, post-induction orientation is very important. Without that, you lose members, like you heard just now. The same with a car company. If you just sell new cars without post-sales service, the companies go belly up. So post-induction service is very, very important. Now, how do we do that? Attendance directors. You can get your attendance director to somehow to be there at the meeting to make new members feel welcome. Because they're new, they don't, and they are a stranger to most of the other members. They must be made feel welcome. And also introduce new members to the other older members, right? You find that somehow when we go to a club meeting, we automatically go straight to our buddies at each line meeting, therefore inadvertently ignoring our new members. And by making a special effort to be particularly kind and friendly to our new members, it makes a difference. And another reason is each member joins a club for a particular reason, or loves his own club for a particular reason. For instance, I love fellowship, I'm a party animal. I love community service, and I love vocational service. And when I talk to a new member, I tell the new member what I like about that particular club. Therefore, the new member has a chance to listen to different talks on the different angles of the club he or she just joined. Another good thing is we call it fireside chat. The tourists are doing it. We usually meet up for about half an hour or 20 minutes before a fellowship. It's a good time because at a fellowship, people let their hair down. And if we can meet a bit earlier, then we can talk a bit on the more mundane subject of rotary information, four-way tests, and so on. So it's a good thing. And also, you can, for some of the senior members, you can perhaps invite them to the house for dinner or after-work drinks. You can also involve health and vocational service person to post a couple of questions, the Q&A thing on your bulletin, to ask them questions on your vocation, on their job nature, or even personal things. For instance, our vocational service director, P.P. Patricia Blair, has a particular flair on this thing. She posed 2 or 3 questions on the new members, and 2 of them actually not job related. For instance, she would ask, if you have a chance to be a chief executive for a week, what are the 3 things you would do? By talking about that sort of thing, you learn more about the new members and his or her personality, where she or he comes from. It's very important. Involve new members in club activities. Right? For instance, in our community services, we have a medical check for elderly 2 or 3 times or twice a year, which involves about 600 elderly people with lots of volunteers. We have a Mother's Day celebration whereby we entertain elderly people on Mother's Day, and therefore we need lots of volunteers. Involve them. Right? In the fellowship, the fellowship is when people let their hair down. So invite them over, get them involved, and get to know their members. Get new members to participate in club meeting, even in things like introducing new members, guests, or visiting Rotarians, or giving vote of thanks. And finally, encourage members to be proactive. For instance, when I first joined my Rotary Club 8 years ago, in about 6 months, I kept overhearing people on my table complaining about the quality of the lunches. And that's terrible, the soup is terrible, the bread is cold, the steak is tough. So I told my president, I said, can I take it upon myself to be in charge of food because I'm a foodie? I did. So I went to the hotel banqueting, and they're very tough people, but I was tougher. I remember one day we had steak. So I sent a very terse email that afternoon. I said, your steak tastes like sandals on a hot afternoon, a hot summer afternoon. and the manager was quite angry. He probably said, well, nobody ever spoke to me like that. I said, now you have. Anyway, so I insisted I gave it the menu for the whole month, and I went through them, and I made suggestions. And the quality of food improved over the next few months. And I posted the menu on the bulletin as one of the means to attract people. What I'm saying is, you have to learn to be proactive. You have to sort of create posts for yourself, and encourage the members to be like that. As I said, there's a lot of overlaps between different areas. I hope what I said haven't been too redundant. Anyway, question and answer. Anyone?
President Vincent, I haven't got a question, but I want to share something. Because I still remember when I became a first year when I was a Rotarian, okay, just like the rest of us. I'm sure you remember some embarrassing moment that you don't know anybody, you walk in somewhere. For example, I was in my own club, Rotary Club Wancha. You know how famous our ball gets, okay, the annual ball. I walk in as a new member with a couple of my friends. Got no table to sit, okay, because the people who invite me didn't actually arrange something for me, so I was so miserable. I was told to sit at the corner. And then I think I remember I tried to make up in one of the clubs, and I met up with my PP. He's supposed to take me there, and then he obviously stood me up, okay, he didn't turn up. So I walked in the room to one of the Rotary clubs that full of male Rotarians, okay, so they all look at me. I was quite young then, thinking, God, it's very lady.